Hello everybody, it's Faye again. Welcome to week 4. It's Monday afternoon, as it always is when I make these videos, and it is suddenly cold here in North Carolina, so if you'll notice that I seem a little bundled up, it's because I am really striving to not turn the heat on at my house yet. I think some of you are in California and probably have no grasp of that, but for the rest of us, that decision of when to turn on the heat and start paying that extra money, it's a big one. All right, so man, there was some good work in the discussions this week. I really enjoyed the things people had to say about gender and rites of passage. I do have a few comments as we move on. I think a number of you read the comments I gave you on your grades from week 1 and then interpreted that to mean I need to say more of what the text says in my entry. And it's true that I do want you to clearly indicate in your entry that you have read and understood what our author has to say on the topic. But the thing that I feel is still a little missing in our discussions is more of your own analysis. So I want to suggest that you think about it this way as you move into your discussion entries. You want to have read the material, you want to read the prompt and make sure you're responding to all the parts of the prompt, but you want to do 3 things. You want to make sure that you clearly indicate that you understand what the text has to say. You want to go on to share some of your own personal opinion or something from an outside source or an experience you've had that connects what you think about this particular topic to the way that we're talking about it in the text. And then you want to support what you're saying with academic sources, okay? So, can't just be, this is what I think, that's not enough. Can't just be, this is what the text says. Not enough. What we want is some of what you know, what the text says, how those come together in your head, and what you think about it. I already know what Crapo has to say about the subjects we're talking about. I would like to hear more of what you have to say. Okay. Your rough draft is due tomorrow. So, in the hopes that you read this before, wait, what's today? Today's Monday. Your rough draft is due by midnight tonight. So, on the off chance that you watch this tonight instead of tomorrow, I want to remind you that it's super important to get those assignments in on time. You're going to lose 10% for late submission each of the next 3 days if you turn it in after tonight. So, Monday you'll get 10% off, Tuesday you'll get 20% off, Wednesday you'll get 30% off. That's like dropping a full letter grade each time. Now, I have lots of confidence that you are all going to get your papers in on time because nearly everybody did on assignment 2. I think there were only 2 people that turned in assignment 2 late. A small handful of you didn't turn it in at all, and of course that's a different problem. But nearly everybody turned it in on time, which makes such a big difference in your grade. And is particularly good for me also because, like you have deadlines for getting your work done, I have deadlines for when those grades need to be turned into the university. So, works for everybody. Super great. So I want to encourage you on your rough draft. Do the same thing. Get it in on time. Get all the points. I do want to remind you, if you're still working on that this evening, that you are writing this paper about 2 specific, distinct cultural groups that are not your own. So, remember, you don't want to be talking about this is what they do in the U.S. compared to this is what they do in France. Or, as students often do on this paper, say, this is what the Catholics do and this is what the Jews do, both in the U.S., subcultures, religious subcultures within the U.S., not what the assignment is asking for. Please use the tutorial. It's very helpful and will help you find good locations for the thing that you want to talk about. But once you get that paper in, there is no assignment in week 4. I mean, you still have your discussion forum entries, of course, and a small quiz, but there's no big written, turn it in on time, kind of crazy assignment that has to be done also, which means you will have some extra time to start thinking more about your final draft of your paper. I do want to remind you all that even if you haven't yet gotten your rough draft back from me, which at this point you certainly haven't because I haven't begun to grade them, you still have time to send that off to the library to get their helpful comments. You still have time to go deeper into reading the materials that you have and getting great ideas to add into your final draft. Use this time and extra time in week 4 to get ready for that. You don't want it to be, a big push at the very end. What else? Okay, week 4. Oh, and we're going to talk about religion and political organization this week, which are both very interesting topics. People often have a whole lot to add to these discussions. I do want to remind you that while your personal opinion is very welcome in our discussion, you still need to be sure that you are presenting the anthropological point of view. So, writing an entry about your personal relationship with God is not going to meet the stipulations of the assignment. Okay, good. All right. And I think that's really it. It's a very short video this week. So, do the reading, write good stuff, talk with one another in the forum. That's how we learn. All right. Talk to y'all later.